Let me ask you a question. Do you know your purpose in life? What did God place you on this earth to do? What legacy will you leave behind? Many people go through the motions of life not knowing their value. People go through trials and tribulations and always wonder, why us? I sometimes ponder on the creation of life and get lost into the beauty of nature. The wind blows the branches on the trees and the contact of the sun on flowers just radiates God's love. I always wonder, how can people believe that God does not exist? One thing I notice in this life is that there are two choices, whether to serve the living God or not. And sometimes I wonder, which one of these two paths will be easier to follow? Our human nature tends to go down the wrong path. Our minds are wired to think that we have a grip on everything in our lives. But on my journey with Jesus, I quickly realized that control is an illusion. As humans, we will always fight against our nature to be masters of our own faith. But this only leads us to more confusion. The solution to this is to surrender daily. Once humans come to the realization that God has control over our lives, then it will be easier to fall into our purpose. Wholeness is a journey and not a destination. You find wholeness in Jesus Christ. In Proverbs 16:9, it states that you can make many plans, but the Lord's purpose will prevail. Not until you fully submit under His plan for your life, you'll always find yourself going in circles. This can easily happen when we follow our parents' dreams instead of our own. Parents like to brag to their friends on how great their child is doing, but the truth is some people are not happy with the path that they have chosen for themselves. Many people seek jobs for the money, but isn't it better to be successful and happy than to just be successful? Think about it. If your metric system is based on how much money you have, then you'll continue to chase money your whole life. You'll never be satisfied. In Ephesians 4:12, God says that our responsibility is to equip God's people to do His work and build up the body of Christ. God has given us all different parts of the body. Because Jesus is the head, without one piece, the body will not function well. So in order for you to find what part you play, you have to seek God so that you can know your purpose. He says in the Bible that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. But how can you love your neighbor if you do not love yourself? And how can you love yourself if you do not understand God's love? We are kingdom builders. Everybody plays a part in the body of Christ. While one is to travel around and spread His greatness, another one is to smile and show the love of Christ to others. Remember, the two most important days in this world is the day that you come in and the day that you recognize your purpose. Now I ask you again, do you know your purpose in life? Do you know why God placed you on this earth? What legacy will you leave behind?